Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the September 22nd, 2022 work session of the Penfield Planning Board. We'll begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Lori, would you please take the roll?
Yes, sir. Hetzke.
Hetzke here.
Burton.
Burton here.
Kanauer.
Kanauer here.
Tydings.
Tydings, aye.
Sangster.
Sangster here.
Weissar.
Weissar here.
O'Connor.
O'Connor here.
Gray here.
All right, we have meeting minutes from the September 8th meeting. Hopefully everybody's had an opportunity to review them. And can we entertain a motion to approve?
So moved.
Seconded by Tydings.
Hetzke.
Hetzke, aye.
Burton.
Burton, aye.
Kanauer.
Kanauer, aye.
Tydings.
Tydings, aye.
Okay. Let's start moving through our tabled items.
Okay. Tabled item number 1 is the PathStone development at 1787 and 1801 Fairport 9 Mile Point Road.
Yes, we have received early this week and late Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday versions. We're working on a draft sketch letter. There's a number of points that are still being worked out and put together. If anybody has had an opportunity to review and wants to add some general points tonight and mention them here, that's fine. I know we wanted to get this out tonight, but I don't think it's ready to send out. So I welcome any of the board's comments if anybody wants to comment about it, or if you haven't had an opportunity based on when we've gotten this, we'll keep working on it. All right, well, with that, I guess I will continue to table this application pending the completion and sending out of the sketch letter.
You would anticipate that that would be ready to go by the next meeting, though?
Yeah, yeah, it better be, yeah. So do I have a second?
Second.
Hetzke.
Hetzke, aye.
Burton.
Burton, aye.
Kanauer.
Kanauer, aye.
Tydings.
Tydings, aye.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
architectural review consultant, when are you going to send that out? You know?
What do you mean?
I think yeah, Chris Lopez. The last go-round, I think those comments came very late.
Just as a reminder, we do need to make sure we get everything on record. That's
All right, I'll convene.
Well, yeah, what was, I mean,
Just a question.
Was asked.
so there was a question from the applicant's counsel about the sending the information to the architectural consultant. At last go-round, Chris Lopez reviewed it later in the process, but I think, so at some
Well,
point.
I guess I would say that as soon as we get a submittal, I mean, I don't think that that's,
Like a revised elevation to reflect
yeah, I don't think it's
building
really
changes.
appropriate to send out a bunch of rectangles on a sheet of paper as it stands at the moment to,
But would you anticipate probably doing that after, earlier, once you have a set of plans, probably, right?
correct.
As soon as we get the plans, we can send it off to Chris Lopez for his review.
Well, and we don't normally process those kinds of things during a sketch review.
Correct. Correct. So yeah, once we have a public hearing on it, we'll then follow the process.
I know you don't like the applicant engaging during this workshop session, but I think where Betsy came from, and I'm sorry not being on the microphone, so I really relay this. I think where PathStone's coming
I'm
from.
going to need to ask for that person to come up to the
Yeah.
microphone. if they're gonna take time.
Sure, come on up.
Thanks, John. I think Peter Vars from BME, the concern PathStone has, but maybe the letter you're drafting will address it. They just are hoping that to move forward from sketch plan to final plan, that the direction is within this letter as to it relates to the layout that's been presented. What we want to avoid is moving forward with a layout and then finding out too far down the road that that layout doesn't work anymore, that
Okay.
these buildings in this location we don't like anymore,
Got
and
it.
we take steps back. If you're addressing that in the letter, that's good, but that's what's important to them.
Okay.
Oh, and I apologize for interrupting.
That's fair, good input, and a fair expectation.
Yeah, we can get that. If the board would like, I can get that sent off to Chris Lopez. And
Okay.
So maybe we add a finding, Doug, about citing in the sketch letter.
I'm sorry, Doug, did you say that you would send it
Yes.
up
Yeah, I can
in
send it.
sketch form to Chris?
at least get some initial feedback. I can ask him what his thoughts are on the initial layout as it relates to building, siting, potential. I mean, it's very broad level.
Can you do that like tomorrow so that we don't
Yeah.
have any more delays in
Yes.
getting it done?
Yes, I can do that tomorrow.
I'm just making some notes. I don't mean to keep everybody on edge. Okay. Moving on.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Application number 2, Verizon cell tower at 1838 Empire Boulevard.
Mr. Chairman, I'll be recusing myself
Okay.
again on this.
Let the record show that Board Member Kanauer has recused himself on this, as well as Council Weissauer. And we have Council Mancuso taking over the reins.
Okay. To provide some updates to the board, since our last meeting, the town met with the applicant to discuss additional visual buffer and what could be provided to facilitate that. We did come to an agreement with the applicant that they will be providing some monetary surety to provide off-site additional plantings that can buffer residents and
Help
may have-
provide some additional
Yes.
screening from the
from the
view
tower.
of the
Yes,
tower.
At least from a pedestrian perspective, from street level view.
Right.
Additionally, at the ZBA's meeting on the 15th, they did approve the use variance as well as the area variance as requested.
Okay. One thing with this being the nature of the application, I'd like to have a full board that is able to vote, present to vote on this. And as such, I'd like to table, but I'd also like to request that the applicant extend the shot clock through whatever is appropriate, whether the 14th or the 28th of October, depending on people's schedule, it may be safer to do the 28th.
And I did speak with the applicant's counsel today and have written confirmation that they do consent to the extension of the shot clock to October 28th, 2022. So that would allow potentially multiple meetings of October to be utilized.
Okay, great. So with that, I will move to table or continue tabling.
Second.
Hetzke,
Hetzke, aye.
Burton,
Burton, aye.
Kanauer. Oh,
Kanauer's
recused.
recused.
Tidings.
Tidings, aye.
We also get a vote on extension of the shot clock.
Separate things?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I will move to request,
I would frame it and move to confirm the extension of the shot clock on the consent of the applicant to October 28th, 2022.
So
Yes.
moved.
So exactly what he said. I'll second.
Hetzke,
Hetzke, aye.
Burton,
Burton, aye.
Tidings.
Tidings, aye.
Okay.
One thing, can I get copies of the zoning board minutes when they're complete?
Yes.
I know I asked you about that. If you
Yep.
make a note of that, thank you very much.
Thanks, John. Have a good weekend.
All righty.
Welcome back, Board Member Kanauer and Legal Counsel, Mr. Weishauer.
All right. Application number 4, the RG&E substation at 2070 Empire Boulevard.
Should we table Chick-fil-A first?
Oh, sorry. Went right through Chick-fil-A. Application number 3, Chick-fil-A, 2130 Fairport 9 Mile Point Road. Chick-fil-A has again requested to be tabled. We have no new information at this time.
Move to continue tabling.
I'll second.
Okay, we got moved and seconded.
Hetzke,
Hetzke, aye.
Burton,
Burton, aye.
Kanauer,
Kanauer, aye.
Tidings.
Tidings, aye.
Right now we'll get to application number 4, RG&E, 2070 Empire Boulevard.
Yes.
Okay. So we have received revised plans from the applicant. It includes a full new site plan set as well as a revised sort of architectural rendering, SketchUp rendering, proposing a different facade material that was then previously proposed. They're showing a brick facade on the building. In addition, some of what was requested previously was lighting and photometric plan. They have provided a lighting and photometric plan along with the detail of the proposed lights. Pull that out there. One engineering comment that does remain outstanding is given the amount of impervious surface that is proposed as part of the site, some form of stormwater management is necessary. At this time, there's no proposal for a stormwater management facility on site, and there needs to be ongoing conversation with the town engineers on a stormwater management practice that would be acceptable by DEC standards.
Okay. I got a couple things. Question, I guess point one, I took a look at the new sketches about the revised building structure, and I thought that we had asked about, comparisons to some of the other substations in the town that looked like houses and looked like kind of structures that you would never know was some sort of utilitarian building. I also came upon one on Mount Hope Avenue that I'd like to submit for the record. This to me looks like a palace on Mount Hope Avenue that happens to be a substation, and I guess I'd like to pose the question, why can't our substation look more like that substation? And unless there's some, I guess I'd like to know. That's a pretty nice looking substation, if you ask me. And Penfielders pay rates and taxes and stuff just as much as the people on Mount Hope Ave do. So the other question I have is, in looking at the lighting, I'd like to know why these specific luminaires were chosen. I personally haven't seen high-pressure sodium sources used on a proposed project in, I can't remember how long. The utility may be surprised to learn that there are new sources. Light-emitting diodes, they've been around for white light since, I think, 2004, and they have come a very long way in the last 18 years to really take over the market like a swarm of locusts. And I would, I guess, encourage consideration of maybe looking into some more updated light sources with some controls that maybe could be dimmed down when there's nobody around. Most, if not all, LED commercial luminaires are now provided with 0 to 10 volt dimming as just a standard part of the fixture that is totally different than old fluorescent and HID systems, which allows facilities and buildings to control them in a lot more cost-effective manner than they used to be. So I would highly encourage maybe another go-round on that.
Yeah, I might also point out that the state's energy law would require high efficacy luminaires and lighting controls.
Right. Any other comments at this point in time on the submittals?
When's the next zoning meeting, excuse me, for this?
Next zoning meeting would be next Thursday, or not next Thursday, the third Thursday of October, 13th to 20th of October.
Thank you.
Okay. Any?
I had a few,
Sure.
I guess, points. The three-sided transformer enclosures, that's a step in the right direction, although it's unclear the material there. It would be nice if that was tied in with the main building, if it was like a brick facade.
And that's something we can ask for. They do have one like this behind the Reliant Federal Credit Union on Tydings and Hudson,
Okay.
where they did the three-sided,
Yeah.
and it was a block. Inside it was block, but it had a brick facade
Okay.
on the outside of it.
And then for the main building, again, it's an improvement of what was there before, but that facade, other than the brick, is pretty featureless. Even if it was some features in there, if they were,
You saw a picture of the Mount Hope one, right?
yeah,
Yeah, you showed it.
artificial.
Pretty sweet looking.
If
Yeah,
it
it's
was
really nice.
even like artificial windows, more, I guess, style to the roof design.
I mean, that Mount Hope one might even have RGB LED lights that change colors
Yeah,
based on the holiday.
so,
Never know.
yeah.
Yeah, Mike, you pulled that up, right?
maybe even RGBW, you know, super high-end.
So one of the things that makes this rendering continue to look utilitarian is the standing seam metal roof. And part of the comments from the board and part of the comments from the community were specific to trying to get them to do something that would blend in with the community and the residential areas immediately adjacent to this site. So,
Right.
you know, putting in a simulated slate roof or, you know, asphalt doesn't last that long, but they could choose some other products that would really soften the look of this building.
Right.
Has this project been sent to Chris?
It has not been sent to Chris.
This is Kelly's project?
Kelly's.
Yeah.
If you'd like it sent to Chris, I can
Yeah,
send
might
it
be
tomorrow
a
when I
good idea.
do.
I think we should, because
Yeah.
this is really a point of contention for this project.
Yeah, probably yeah, it is.
Do you know, AJ, were there external transformers on that site behind the building?
It doesn't appear so.
Doesn't appear
looks
so.
there's-
So everything was contained within the structure?
Yes.
Okay. Because, you know, that one too, there's no fencing around it.
You're talking about the one on Mount Hope?
Yes.
It's completely fenced in.
Yeah, it's fenced
I
in.
drive by it
It has,
almost every day.
most of the fence is the same fence that they're proposing here.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
the same security fence.
They've got
and then
brick
around the back,
pilasters
they've
and
got a-
ornamental
Okay, I
aluminum
didn't see
fencing.
that back portion.
it's
I
completely
just saw
enclosed,
the facade
yeah.
of the building. Okay. But the front
Yeah,
of
even
it
the
that's on
fence is
on the
super
sidewalk
nice on that one.
side.
Yeah,
Very
so
nice.
so the building faces Mount Hope. There
Yeah.
is,
Brick
the
pilasters?
fence goes from the back of the building around
back,
it,
around
up
the
They
back.
put a
to
lot of
the
money
other
into this
side.
building.
Okay.
Yep, so it wraps, the fence
Yeah.
wraps around it on all the other sides.
Maybe if we're all, I don't know, community heating
Side, you can see
That's
the
what
side.
Titus-
recipients or something
Yep,
would
this
be
is
different.
just off of Titus and Hudson.
Oh, that has the,
So it looks like they
has the
did, so it's
brick.
block on the inside, but it's brick on the
Yeah.
outside.
Okay. Any other comments on this for the
So
moment?
one of the things staff noticed was there was some light spillage, especially to the neighbor to the west, requesting cutoffs on the lights.
Yeah, outside shields, or, I think that the lighting probably could be maybe looked at again.
Okay.
And,
Which might negate the need for light shields,
yeah,
Okay.
so.
I mean, there's a lot of technology out now for beam spread control and all sorts of things that can be utilized.
Okay.
Any other comments? Terry?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Bob?
Nope.
Jim?
Good.
Good? Okay. Somebody want to move to table?
I'll move to table.
Tydings second.
Hetzke,
Hetzke, aye.
Burton,
Burton, aye.
Kanauer,
Kanauer, aye.
Tydings.
Tydings, aye.
Okay,
That's all I have for you guys tonight.
that's all we got? Okay, well, everybody, thanks for coming. Thanks for your input and efforts, and we will adjourn.